Well, joining us now from Brussels is Elly Schlein. She's an Italian MEP who's a member of the Civil Liberties, Justice and Home Affairs Committee at the European Parliament. Thank you for being with us. What do you think the European Union and its leaders should be doing about this migrant catastrophe?
Well, I think that here we are lacking a response from the European governments. When you go to Lampedusa, you would hear the question all the time, where is Europe in front of these tragedies? It's an everyday tragedy right now in Sicily. And, I think that it's not the right answer, the right question. The right question would be, where are the governments, the European governments? Because if you look at the data today, you will see that just 6 member states out of 28 are dealing with 75% of the asylum requests. So, the Article 80 of the Treaty of the European Union talks about solidarity and shared responsibility between member states, and we don't see that today. So what we need here, I think, is a real European operation of search and rescue at sea. As a first response, a short-term response. And then in the long run, we should be able to prevent those people to end up in the hands of human traffickers, of course, like with solutions like humanitarian visas or humanitarian corridors, because this can happen anymore. This tragedy could be avoided, could have been avoided, and so are the other ones in the past.
Okay, well, you're a legislator, and one of the problems with this, as you say, only 6 countries having to deal with this entry, is the Dublin Agreement, which means that you are responsible for dealing with people at the point of entry, which means that these people are coming into your country, Italy, and under EU rules, it's kind of Italy's problem.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the problem. The Dublin system is not working right now. I think it's hypocritical because all the responsibility is on the shoulders of those countries that are at the borders of Europe, of course. So we need to overcome that approach and come to a solution like a mechanism with quotas to better share the responsibility between member states. That's what I really think, because, those people are fleeing from war, are fleeing for torture, from discrimination of all kinds. They're not fleeing to Europe, to Greece or to Spain. They're fleeing to Italy, to Greece or Spain, but they're fleeing to Europe. That's why we need so badly a urgent European solution right here. And the governments have always been so jealous about their asylum and immigration policy. They've failed until now to feel they are a European Union. So I really think that right now, I heard the leaders today of some European member states, and I think that I hope that facts are coming in the next few days, because we cannot wait anymore. We have a responsibility, both a moral and a legal one, of course, in front of the people seeking for international protection.
But taking that on board, there is, in most European Union countries now, concern about migration and a general view that we don't want to encourage people like this to come in to the EU, and that there should be ways of stopping them. I mean, do you think in the end we're going to go down the route of Australia, for example?
Yeah, you got straight to the point. When many countries and many people also in the parliament asked for the Operation Mare Nostrum to be shut down, they used the argument that it was kind of incentivizing the parties. But can we seriously think that with all that is happening in the Mediterranean area, with all the instability of Libya, of Syria, of Egypt, of course, and Gaza this summer, is that the real reason could really be for them to leave, that there are some European ships waiting for them? I don't think so. On the long term, we have, of course, to deal with the instability. It means better foreign policies of the European Union, and a challenge that is the fight to inequalities globally. But of course, in the short term, we have to face this problem. And I'm not scared of the numbers, 450,000 people asked for asylum in the European Union last year, and we're 500 million of people here. If you look at Jordan and Lebanon, they're dealing with 1,618,000 refugees. So what are you talking about? I think that some political forces are using this kind of arguments just, to grow their consensus out of the fear of the poor people that are facing difficulties in their own countries. But, the governments shouldn't be so afraid. That's the main reason why they're so jealous, and they fail in facing the problem as a European Union, I think.
The other proposal, which the British have supported, is some kind of policing operation on the shores of North Africa to stop the boats leaving and even to smash up boats. It's been talked about. You think that would be a good idea?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be kind of a favor to the human traffickers, that kind of solution. I don't believe it's the right one, you know. Mare Nostrum operation last year managed to save 140,000 people. It had a cost. It was 9 million a month. It's a lot if you think about having it on the shoulder of just one member state, but we're 28 member states here. So it will be a really small effort if we share that effort and if we have the political will to share that effort. And let me say just another thing. That argument, you know, of Operation Mare Nostrum incentivizing the partners was not true, because if you look at the data of the starting of this year, same period as last year when Operation Mare Nostrum was there, well, this year the flows have increased of 60%. So it wasn't even an argument, you know, that one of incentivizing the partners. I think that, of course, we have to work on the stability in the long term, on a better foreign policy, a more effective one, because we have responsibility on some of that instability. But I really think that we need an operation of search and rescue, because unless people are going to still leave, they leave because they can't stand the situation in those countries anymore.
Elly Schlein, thank you very much for joining us from Brussels.